Hello everybody, Steve here for Ultramarines Beyond, and today we're going to dive right into it. We're going to be looking at two different combat patrols that were featured in some recent White Dwarfs. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. First off, from White Dwarf 497, we have the Insidious Infiltrators. There's a theme with both of these combat patrols is they're very, very fluffy. So the Insidious Infiltrators, for those who don't know, Tyranids Varel, these are the vanguard organisms. These are the ones that land on a planet that's going to be attacked well before the main Tyranid fleets arrive. And their jobs are to cause as much havoc as possible. Means destroying weapon installations, cutting communications, taking out command structures. I know, Tyranids, very scary, bestial, but they're very, very intelligent too. And this whole army, I should say, is based around these guys. So let's dive into what they look like. So first off, we have our Neurolictor, Death Shadow. This is your Neurolictor, right? Something like the Lictor, but obviously with some extra psychic punch. Not as punchy as a Lictor, but very, very cool. He's got the Shadow and the Warp ability, which if you use it, causes battle shock across the whole table. Very, very cool, though. We also have our Lictor. This is your character killing hunting model. Lictor's a classic Tyranid model. Very, very powerful. Some cool rules in there to make it extra punchy. Things like fight first. This is the guy to take things down. Next, we have our 3 squads of Van Ryan's Leapers. These are your go-to guys. They will be the things that will be hunting down units, capturing objectives, causing as much damage as possible. Again, they're like mini lictors. So everything, again, based around speed and hitting hard, hitting fast, hitting a lot. They won't survive very long outside of cover and against heavily armed opponents. You need to strike fast, hit hard, and that's what this army does really, really well. Just flip over here. We're going to look at some of the cool things. So first off, Shadows in the Warp. Once per battle, in either player's command phase, if one or more units of your army with this ability are on the battlefield, you can unleash the Shadow in the Warp. When you do so, the enemy unit on the battlefield must take each enemy on the unit on the battlefield must take a battle shock test. That is very, very cool. That comes in important later on. Give your 2 enhancements here. Now, the Neurolictor is your warlord, right? So he starts off with Neurogoad. So basically, any friendly unit within the command phase, select one friendly Tyranid unit within 12 inches of the bearer. Until the start of your next command phase, you can re-roll charge rolls made for that unit, and each time a model in that unit makes attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. Very cool if you need to make sure that your guys get into combat and get those hits in, all important hits. Very, very cool one. You also have Psionic Phantoms. Once per battle round, when the bearer is selected as a target of one or more shooting attacks made by the enemy models in that enemy unit, it can use the enhancement. If it does, you make a normal move up to 6 inches. If the bearer is no longer visible to the enemy unit, roll a d6 on a 1 to 3. The model targeting the bearer can target new targets for their attacks. On a 4 to 6, the models targeting the bearer cannot select a new targets for their attacks and do not make any attacks this phase. That's great. So basically, it's like he's not even there. You think he's there, but then he just disappears. The enemy can go, well, can't get that one. There's a chance I can fire at something else, or they're just horribly confused and just cannot shoot at all. Great for keeping your Neurolictor alive. Very, very good. All right, so on to objectives. I got a couple cool ones, and I love these because they're fluffy. So you have Alpha Predation. It's basically you get a certain amount of victory points depending on when you kill the enemy warlord. So you do it quick, you get a lot. If you end up at the end of the game, not so much. It's cool because it's reminiscent of those great, alien horror movies where the leader gets cut down right off the bat, and his poor troops are stuck there panicking. And it goes with the fluff of command structures being annihilated by these guys. The other one, again, very fluffy, is left to last. While the enemy warlord is not destroyed, you score 4 victory points each time you destroy an enemy unit. Again, it goes with that whole view of this this enemy commander watching hopelessly and just in absolute horror as his units are just cut down around him. Very, very, very cool. Very fluffy. Exactly what they do. Destroying enemy units, breaking up command lines. It's perfect. So, on to our stratagems. We've got 3 cool ones here. Swift kills. In the fight phase, 1 Tyranid's unit that has not been selected to fight this phase. The unit until the end of the phase, improve the armor penetration characteristics of melee weapons equipped by the models in the unit by 1, and those weapons have the anti-monster 4+ and anti-vehicle 4+. This is a great one for your Lictor if you have to go after something big or a vehicle or something just that needs to die. This is the stratagem to use on him. Or even if you're going up against, you need to get your Von Ryan Leapers. Personally, I'd put this on the Lictor. He's got the skills, the strength, and the weapons to do it. Pheromonal Trace, this is right up there for your Leapers. It's in the command phase. 1 unit from your army. Select 1 objective marker unit your unit is within range of, and you control the objective marker secured by you. Right? So they can leap away. You're still secured. Predators, not prey. This is a good one. It's in the movement phase. Sorry, let me focus a bit. Or charge phase, 1 tier unit from your army that has not been selected to move this phase has been not declared a charge move. Until the end of the phase, your models in your unit automatically pass desperate escape tests, and each time a model in your unit makes a move, it moves horizontally through models if they were not there. Great. Again, this is a very cool army. Very, very small though. Smaller model count compared to other ones. Even Space Marines would outnumber these guys. So getting caught, getting surrounded is a very real danger. The ability to get out of there and then regroup for a major attack is not to be underestimated. Very, very cool. Okay, so let's go through these data slates here. So we have our Death Shadow. Right, movement 8 inches, toughness 5, 4+ saves there, so vulnerable and normal. 7 wounds, leadership 7+, and OC 1. Again, limited. This army does have limited choice, but that's okay. Piercing claws and talons, which have precision, which is great. 6 attack, hitting on a 2+, strength 6, AP -2, damage 1. So lots of attacks there. Gonna cut through some stuff. Not a ton of damage, but still really, really good. It's got infiltrators, lone operative, and stealth, so it is hard to hit. Of course, there's Shadows of the Warp there. And again, now we get the psychic part of it. We get neural disruption. This is cool. In your command phase, select 1 enemy unit within 12 inches model. The unit must take a battle shock test. Again, it's a lot of shutting units down, making them afraid, basically. And of course, then you have psychological saboteur. While an enemy unit is within 12 inches model, if that unit is battle shocked, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Each time a friendly Tyranid model makes an attack on that target, add 1 to the wound roll. So it really goes well with the Shadows of the Warp, and the neural disruption makes it even more difficult for your opponent to work with and easier for you to destroy, which is great, especially if you hit a heavy unit and say something like the Lictor or all your Von Ryan Leapers at it. It's definitely going to help. Speaking of Lictor, here is the Fighter. 8-inch movement, toughness 6, a 4+ save, but no invulnerable save, looks like. 6 wounds, leadership 7+, and OC 1. Again, he's got the Lictor claws and talons with precision. He's got 6 attacks, hitting on a 2+, strength 7, so he's stronger, AP -2, and 2 damage. Of course, he has fights first, which is great. Infiltrators, lone operative, and stealth. Again, very, very hard to hit. And with the feeder tendrils there, each time the small destroys an enemy character model, you gain 1 command point, which is good, right? He's that's great, representing him, taking out an enemy commander and somehow through osmosis, through the feeder tendrils, gaining knowledge what's going to happen. It's rather quite disgusting, but hey. And of course, the bread and butter, the meat of the unit, the Von Ryan Leapers, they have a 10-inch move, which is great. Toughness 5, a 4+ invulnerable, or 6+ invulnerable save, 4+ armor save, 3 wounds each. Leadership 8+, and 1 OC. They have the Leaper's Talons, no precision on these. That's okay. These are meant to go after other things. Again, 6 attacks, 3+ weapon skill, strength 5, AP -1, damage 1, fights first, infiltrator stealth. Again, also very hard to hit. You can target this unit with a heroic intervention stratagem for 0 CP, and you do it even if you already use that stratagem on a different unit. Basically means they can jump in and maybe help out things like your Death Shadow, your Lictor, or your Lictor. Allows them to make that nice big move. Very, very powerful army. Very, very cool. And very fluffy. These guys are almost like another glass hammer. They can hit hard, but if they get hit back, they're gonna crumple pretty fast, and they can be heavily outnumbered. I mean, even these guys have less models than even just barely than even the Space Marine Combat Patrol. So very, very, very cool army. I'm a big fan of this one. All right, from issue 498 of the White Dwarf, we have Vontarian's Voidsman. Now, these are cool. Again, another fluffy one. These are the rogue traders. That would be Vontarian over there, or Vontarian, sorry, surrounded by her soldiers. These are representing the rogue traders, the entrepreneurs, if you will, of the Imperium, the explorers, mediators, merchantmen. They're very cool. If you don't know what a rogue trader is, they're sort of outside of the normal Imperial citizenry. They have warrants of trade, some reaching back to before the Great Crusade or during the Great Crusade, signed by the Emperor himself. And it is their job to spread the light of the Imperium, to find out new trade routes, new planets, new civilizations that will eventually obviously be destroyed, treating with Xenos and other things, and all in order to the betterment of the Imperium. It's also very cool because they can also represent the Imperial Navy to an extent. We'll get to that. So rogue traders are very, very cool. They also sell their services to highest bidder. They are basically, they are the rogues of the Imperium. They can kind of get away with pretty much whatever they want, with exception. They are, yeah, that's like I say, rogue traders, right? They're very, very cool, right? They can, and they depending on the wealth and the family with these warrants, some of them have a single ship to a whole fleet of ships all in their own, which is very, very cool. Okay, so here they are at a glance. We have Vontarian's entourage, which is down here. So you have your rogue trader and some of the specialized people that come with it: a commander, a medic, a death cult assassin type person, of course, and your Adeptus Mechanicus hangers on there to keep the ship going. You have your Voidsmen at Arms, these gentlemen down here. These are sort of the personal guards of the of your rogue trader. They're also the battle line unit, which is very cool, good to have. And of course, over here we have 2 units of Navy breachers, right? Again, a perfect representation of the Navy personnel that are on most Imperial Navy ships, whether it's the ones transporting rogue traders or the Astra Militarum. These are the guys that represent them. Of course, they're kitted out with all sorts of things, lots of shotguns, las volleys, power weapons, close combat weapons, shields of some sort for sieging. You can see it all there. Very, very, very cool stuff. The nitty gritty. So we have a couple of enhancements. You have Void Warren veterans here. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes a ranged attack, of course, I should say the rogue trader is your warlord, obviously. So each time a model of the bearer's unit makes a ranged attack, a critical hit is scored on an unmodified hit roll of a 5+ instead of only a 6. In addition, once per battle round, you can target the bearer's unit with the Fire Overwatch stratagem for 0 CP. And when doing so, hits are scored on an unmodified hit roll of a 5+ while resolving that stratagem. So it's not bad. Some extra shooting in there, right? These, like I said, they're veterans. They don't panic. They can take on whatever. They can, are malleable within the fight. They won't get taken by surprise. Then you have Star Shell Bombardment, which is really nice. In your command phase, select 1 enemy unit on the battlefield until the start of your next command phase. Half the movement characteristic on models in the enemy unit. Subtract 1 from advance and charge rolls made by it. Really good. Again, this is great if you're going up to something very fast. You can slow down one of those fast units, make it a bit harder for them to get into grips with you, which is really good. Got some good secondary objectives. Again, this is a very fluffy army. Combat patrol, very fluffy stuff with it. So you have glittering prizes. At the end of your turn, if your warlord is within range of objective marker, roll a d6. On a 1, you score 1 VP. On a 2 to 4, you score d3 plus 1. On a 5, you score 4 PP. It's great, right? It says there, most rogue traders make a point of honor never go into battle without a promise of personal reward to motivate them. Even as battle rages, see to it that the field of war is picked clean of salvageable valuables. That's what they do. It's all about wealth and personal glory. Well, it's great for the Imperium. That is their primary goal. And you have landing parties sweeping down upon the battlefield from orbit and combat landers. The rogue trader and their soldiery swiftly spread out to secure the area before enemy truly realizes their peril. At the end of your opponent's turn, if you have one or more units of your army wholly within your opponent's deployment zone, and one or more units from your your army wholly within no man's land, you score 5 VP. Otherwise, if you have one or more units from your army wholly within your deployment zone and one or more units from your army wholly within no man's land, you score 2 VP. Very, very cool. Again, it's supposed to represent them coming to the battlefield quickly and surprising the opponent, right? They're coming down on their big landing ships here. On to stratagems. We've got a couple cool stuff here. Small arms broadside, it's in your shooting phase, and you 1 Navis Imperialis. That is the keyword for all the units in this combat patrol. That has not been selected to shoot until the unit phase. Improve the attacks and ballistic skills, characteristics, and ranged weapons equipped by the models in your army by 1. That's great for pretty much any unit in this thing. You have bulkhead to bulkhead. Your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit ends a normal, advance, or fallback move. 1 Navis Imperialis from your unit that is not within 9 inches. You can make a normal move up to 6 inches. Basically just getting you closer to those objectives. They're just racing through the battlefield. Like it says, bulkhead to bulkhead, just keep going. And you have the Shipmaster's Vengeance. This is really nice. Basically, the crew retainers are incredibly loyal and will continue fighting up to the last moment, to the last breath. For their leader, right? So your opponent's shoot phase just have an enemy's unit has selected its targets. 1 Navis Imperialis unit from your army that is not within engagement range of an enemy unit and was selected as a target of one of your attacking units. Until the end of the phase, each time a model unit is destroyed, roll 1d6. On a 4+, do not remove that destroyed model from play. It can shoot after the attack unit is finished making its attacks, and there's remove a play. So again, it gives you an extra chance. If you know something bad's going to happen, you can throw this down and hopefully do some damage before your unit is gone, which is very cool. We'll start a bit differently from, we get the Imperial Navy Breachers here. Nice unit, right? Of course, lots of the same stuff you expect. These bolt pistols, demolition charges, your shotguns, las volley, novice shotgun, heavy shotgun, which is nice. Of course, chain fist, close combat weapon, power weapon, all the standards you would expect. Your breaching team, each time a model unit makes an attack, reroll wound of 1. If the target of the attack is an enemy within range of objective marker, you can reroll the wound instead, which is nice. You do have these endurance shields, which gives them a 4+ armor save, invulnerable save. And of course, patrol squad, you can break them up into 2 units, basically taking those 2 10-man units and breaking up to 4 5-man units, which is good, covers more ground. We have our Voidsmen at Arms, right? They have the Artificer Shotgun, Lasgun, the Last Pistol, Voidman's Rotor Cannon, which is nice. Sustain hits 1. It's heavy, 6 attacks. Of course, you have Vicious Bite, as you do have a Cannon in there as well, and close combat weapons. And you have Masters of Close Confines. Each time a model unit makes a ranged attack, the target closest eligible target, the attack has lethal hits, which is really nice, especially with things like the Rotor Cannon in there. And pretty standard human stats, just like the Navy Breachers. They have a 6-inch move, toughness 3, 4+ save, 1 wound, leadership 8+, and OC 2. Again, those are your battle line guys. You kind of keep them alive. And of course, last but not least, we have Vantarian there. Same basic stat line as everybody else. 4 wounds instead of 1, 6+ leadership, OC1, and all your specialists there. Of course, this is where all the cool things, you have the Death Mask or the Dart Mask, household pistol, which will be Vontarians, the last pistol, Voltanic pistol, close combat weapons, Death Call power blades, which are great to have. Again, have precision there. And the monomolecular cane rapier, that again would be Vontarians. They have infiltrators and leader and warrant of trade. If your army includes one or more units with the ability, after players deployed, select D3 Imperium battle line units from your army and redeploy them. You can use the ability to place those selected into strategic reserve, regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserve. If both players' abilities have that redeploying units roll off, the winner chooses who to redeploy his units first. So it's great if your Voidsmen are in a place they shouldn't be, or you've deployed them wrong, you have a chance to redeploy them or put them into strategic reserve if necessary, which is great. And of course, healing serum, you do have a dock in there. The models and bears units have a feel no pain 5+ ability. Great for keeping Vantarian alive. There you have it, guys. Those are the 2 combat patrols. Now, I want to go over some pros and cons of these things. They're really cool, very, very fluffy, which is definitely a pro. You get a mark for that. It's definitely awesome. The fact that the rules do definitely feel like what they're supposed to be, right? Whether it's the your rogue trader, lots of cool victory points for basically securing the ground around you. Again, always about that personal glory. Or you look at the vanguard units of the Tyranid army, fast, deadly, but fragile. Their secondaries all wrapped around that, causing a fear, destroying command units, ripping them apart piece by piece. Very, very cool. The fluff is great for them too. I didn't want to go through all that though. So lots of pros there. Very cool, very unique. And I'm not sure how many people actually go for these, but they're very, very cool. There is a massive con for both of these, and they share the same one. And that is also their uniqueness. They are very, very cool. They're very, very fluffy, but there isn't a box for them. And along with the price increase we just got, in Canada, a standard Combat Patrol box is now $200. Which is an expensive way to get in the hobby. Now, these guys, again, specialized, very cool, very fluffy. Both of them are over $300 each. So again, it's another impediment. That is definitely a con. You're going to need 3 Von Ryan's Leapers squads. And for the Rogue Traders, to get those 10 men-at-arms, those Voidsmen, you have to buy 2 of the Rogue Trader box sets to get them. Because each Rogue Trader only comes with 5. Of the Voidsmen, including the Rogue Trader. So you're going to have doubles, which is cool. You might be able to sell those off and maybe recruit a little bit. But at the end of the day, each one being over $300, that's a major con. And I think that is going to stop some people, not everybody, obviously, from enjoying these. I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little run through of them. I've been meaning to do this for a while. And thank you everybody for your patience and your understanding. If you liked it, please, hit that like button, share it around. Please subscribe if you haven't. I always love seeing new people. And I will see you guys in the next video. Keep rolling those dice. Bye.